I interviewed several men who are in love for a project I was working on for the membership. And one of the most important things that I got out of those interviews was that attraction was so crucial. And a lasting attraction with a man is his emotional attraction to you. But they don't really see it that way. They see it differently. So I'm doing a new series now about the attraction of an irresistible woman. And we're going to be talking about your feminine traits as an irresistible woman that keeps him emotionally attracted to you and in love with you. So just quickly, we're going to throughout the series, we're going to start with the obvious one, which is seduction, and work our way through all of them, but I'll give you the rundown. We're looking at seduction. We're looking at triggering him, um, him knowing that he's wanted, that his emotions keep him in love, that your feminine energy naturally attracts him, and you're feeling desirable as a feminine trait of attraction, sensuality, being irresistible, being romantic, connection, affection, receiving and responding, and flirting. So let's get to the point about the interviews. And they said, I would say most of them said that they found most attractive was that when a woman did throughout the relationship what she did in the beginning. And now you see, this is what we do as irresistible women. It's our ways. It's what he's naturally attracted to. These are the tools that you practice. It's everything I make these videos about. And your feminine practices keep you being irresistible. And like flirting is a part of how you interact with him, right? Another important thing is receiving and responding. And what you're responding to is his emotional attraction to you. When whatever he says, whatever he does, that's a result of his attraction to you. And one of the ways that we look to do that is through second level listening and passion stories. We'll cover that later in the series. One of the other results of your leaning back is connection and affection towards him. And if you continue to practice that, he will still feel that attraction from the beginning. Another feminine practice is being romantic without leaning forward. That's something else we're going to cover. Another is being irresistible, which starts from within, and it's actually the secret to your attraction. And an easy one is sensuality. And sensuality is at the core of being an irresistible woman. And as I mentioned before, feeling desirable is crucial to the effortlessness of being sensual. So sometimes we have to, it's more of inner work that's not really an outward practice, although it could become an outward practice. But next is your femininity, which he's naturally drawn to, is that femininity is feeling based. You're feeling that you know that he's attracted. You're feeling that attraction. That's all part of being a feeling based creature as a woman. And the main key is that these attractive aspects are working right on his emotional attraction. It's a direct connection to it. And his emotional attraction is how he stays in love. But more than that, you have to let him know he's wanted. And this fosters that emotional attraction. That's something else we're going to talk about. So then there are also triggers because just like Women get triggered, men get triggered. So, but we're talking about the good triggers. And one of the best triggers I can think about is to let him know he's appreciated. And that's like short little text messages and things like that. We'll cover that as well. The most known trigger, though, is seduction. And we want to make sure we get this one right from the beginning. Remember what they said in the interviews? So let's get this right from the beginning. And the key is that you have to be honest about it. It's a part of you, and therefore it's sustainable. You don't have to worry about not being this way in the future for some reason. And remember, you want to do what you did in the beginning. So, the most important thing I can think of for seduction is showing interest. And your showing interest is responding to him. Now, this is in your words, in your actions, but you want a little extra to it. So, let me briefly go into how to break this down. When we're leaning back, we are receiving whatever it is that's in our environment, whatever he's doing, whatever he's saying, his physique, his cologne, just everything about him. We're receiving it, we're taking it all in. As you're taking that in, the next step is to pause. And the reason you're pausing is so that you can stay in the moment. You can get into your feelings and stay in that moment instead of going to the future or the past. You're here and now and with Him. And so the third step is to, based on those feelings in this moment, is to respond to Him. But the response is specifically how you show your interest. And that's where the flirting comes in. You can keep eye contact. You can do second level listening. That means you're intently listening to him and not thinking about what to say next. You can smile. You can touch him. You can get closer. Give him all of your attention. And this is all part of your attraction, but do you see how it's natural? And speaking of natural, he's naturally drawn to the feminine parts of you that make you irresistible, and that results in connection. And think about it. When you receive, you're leaning back, you receive, you pause, you respond, and your response is showing interest to him, your interest in him, you're creating a moment. Remember, not going forward and not going backwards. You're in this moment. So you're creating a moment, and this whole doing all of this takes the connection deeper. So you lean back, you receive his presence or whatever he's doing, you pause and get into your feelings in the moment, and then you respond to him, showing your interest. And for an example on showing this type of interest, check out this next video on bounty.